Hello everyone, welcome to this fourth session on Zentangle Floral Treats. I'm Sanyukta Saxena, I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today is this five tile that we are going to be working on. One of the backgrounds that we created in the first session, watercolor background. Yeah. So now let's start with a tangle called Floral Waves today. What I'm going to do is use these waves which are inbuilt, which we have created on this tile using the watercolors, and use it to my advantage and draw some lines also here and there. Yeah. So I'm going to be working with a boulder nib here, and again ink one of the lines, start somewhere, probably this darker line. So I'm going to ink this line. Yeah. And then I'm going to add moon at each of these dips. Now we'll see if we want to color it completely, probably yes. So I'm going to ink the moon. So I'm working with a boulder nib 08 here, because the background is already blackish gray. So I want my tangling to be clear enough, as if it is transcended. So first drawing simple crescent moons. And adding one aura to each. You can add a hidden one here. And then I'll do the same exercise on the other side also. Yeah, like this. Take your time. Slowly add a moon, half moon, crescent moon to each of these dips. Yeah. So once you are done with that, now next step is to add the flower. So I'm just going to add, just like we draw petal panes, I'm going to add these curves and then connect it to this aura, right? So just start adding these curves like these and then connect it to the first aura that you drew. Again on the same lines, connect it. Slowly, take your time, no hurry. Like this. Again, rotate, don't move your hand much. Yeah, continue. Somewhat like the tangle petal paints, growing on a zigzag curvy line. Many of the Zentangle patterns are very closely related to each other. They just gel. You can very easily transition from one to the other. Because somehow they share the same anatomy. Yeah, so we are done with that. Now I'll choose, I think use my finer dip, which is O1, and then connect these flowers with these fine auras, as many as you wish to. Yeah, so just choose one side and then go on. Close auras. Like this. Take your time. And the last one here on this side. Yeah, moving on to the next. The other side, rotate your tile, do the same exercise. Yeah, and the last one here. Probably you can add one or two more. Yeah, that's about it. So that's our first layer of floral waves. I'm going to add some etching here. I think it will add to the look of my tangle. Almost finishing adding my etching. Yeah, so that's the first one. So I am going to add one more here. So again, you can use any of the lines. So let's use the boulder nib once again. So I'm going to ink this zigzag line now, right? And again do the same exercise of adding some moons on both sides. Take your time. And do that exercise. If you want, you can vary the look by varying the type of petals that you have added. So they will look different. Yeah, so let's do that. So let's add one aura. So now I'm going to add something like henna drums this time. Yeah, so instead of those petals, I'm changing the nature of the petals, just like we did in our first session, henna drums. So I'm going to do that for all. Let's first add the petals. Slowly, take your time. Yeah. Once we are done with that, now I'm going to switch my pen to O1, add the etching, delicate lines, yeah, done with that. Again add the same auras. This part will remain the same, as many as you wish to. Yeah, rotate, do it on the other side. Yeah, and the last one here. So we have already done two lines, right? So if you want, you can add one more, or we will stop here and add something else in between. Yeah. So I'm going to now add some black pearls. So I'm adding an orb and leaving a small gap in between, somewhat following the line in between, but not absolutely. Yeah. So that's the line of black pearl. I'm going to add one more here. Take your time. Slowly do that exercise. You can always first add the wavy line and then add the pearls. Go back and add the pearls. Whichever way you feel comfortable, that's okay. I'm doing both the things at the same time. So that's the second layer. I'm going to add one more here in exactly the same fashion, not necessarily following the line that I have. If I can, okay. If I cannot, no issues. So once we are done with that, now the rest of the tile, it is up to us. We can either leave it the way it is, or you can, if you wish to, add some diva dance in between. So I'm not going to ink the entire space. Just added some humps, and then going to go back and add some fine lines like this. Again some humps in between. Tangle pattern diva dance. right? So you can add 1 or 2 lines more, but I'm not going to add further lines. Something like this. Yeah, if you want, you can go ahead and add more, cover the entire space or leave it. Again, a little touch on this side also. So not going to ink the entire thing, just adding some further lines to the lines that are already there. That's about it. I'm not going to add more. Yeah. So let us now shade. So shading this floral wave, a good idea to shade on both sides here. But you don't have much of space there, so just add some touches. You don't want to add too much. Again on the other side. Take your time. So let us blend this first. With a very soft hand. Don't blend too much because you want to highlight in the center. And the background is already gray. So just limit it to the corners. Like this. Yeah. Again, the same exercise on the other line also. Just a touch, not much. And the other side in the same way. So we already have shadow on these lines, the watercolor lines, yeah. But if you want, you can always re-emphasize. So the bead lines already have a shadow. But if you want, you can add some touches. I'm not adding much, just giving a shadow kind of an effect. Like this. Yeah. Again on this one. It's already there. Places where it is not there, you can, even what is there on your Totlon may be sufficient to do that. A little bit of shadow there. Since we have drawn on that line, I'm just adding a little shadow underneath. Yeah. These lines need not be just adding a little more to the line there. So let's now move on to our white chalk. So what I'm going to do is just touch a few places with my white chalk. Generally, the center section of crescent moon can be highlighted. So you can use your chalk there. Yeah, same exercise on the other side. You can always use your Gellyroll and highlight the dot of the beads if you wish to. If they are not visible at a few places, use your Gellyroll. Yeah, you can always add some dots on this black section also if you want. Something like this, probably in a few of them. Yeah. So I'm adding some dots to some, not all. Like this. Yeah. And the last thing that you can do, you may do, is to add some flying, some of these beads just coming out. Popping up here and there. Like this. Not too many. If you want, you can add a shadow under them. Sorry. What is already there on your Totlon may be sufficient for that. Just a touch. Yeah. So that's about it. I don't think we need anything else. Somehow use the lines already there and added a few lines here and there as far as the diva dance is concerned. So we'll close our tile here today. I'm going to put in my chop sitting here. Sign and date your tile. Right. So I shall see you again with another new watercolor background, another new session. Till then, have a good time. Bye bye.